guys, so today's video is going to be a lot different than what I would normally do. You guys already know I do my girly vlogs. Everything is super pink, girly, princessy. But yeah, what really pushed me to make this video is something recently happened, and it happened about a couple of days ago. And mind you, this isn't the first time. This is something that I have been dealing with behind the girly vlogs. I've never talked about or shared with anybody besides Babe. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little difficult to talk about because I just get really scared and I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable talking about it. Even with Babe, like I just speak in code when I want to tell him something because I just don't like to talk about it. It's getting to the point where things just keep happening. I thought maybe you guys have experienced the same thing or going through the same thing. I want to know your guys' opinion on how you feel about this, what you guys would do. So first, I'm going to give you guys a little backstory to kind of help you guys understand a little bit better. So last year, I had the genius idea of going to the worst rated hotel in my city. So not only did that hotel have the worst ratings on Yelp, but also people claimed that it was haunted. If you guys haven't watched that video, I'll go ahead and link it down below for you guys. I'm the type of person that needs proof to believe something. Like, I don't just go off he said, she said. So in that moment, I wasn't worried about like ghosts or evil spirits or whatever you guys believe in, because I just thought that I wouldn't capture anything or experience anything. Also, the reviews were pretty mixed. Like, there were a couple people who said that they experienced something, and then also a majority of the people who stayed there didn't experience anything. One of the reviews that I read said that there was a lot of break-ins to people's cars in the parking lot. So that was honestly the only thing that I was worried about, is my car being broken into. I had no idea that the worker had put me in a room that was actually haunted, but I'm really glad that I didn't know that beforehand. Knowing me, I just knew I couldn't like actually go through with filming the video and staying in that room. Okay, so the room that I stayed in was in room 210, and after I had filmed the going to the worst rated hotel in my city video, I then found this whole article of that room and the hotel, the history of the hotel, and which rooms were reported to be haunted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read the article. Blank, which is the name of the hotel, is reportedly home to many ghosts, one of which is a sea captain who was first seen a few years after the hotel was built, back in 1917. So this hotel is over 100 years old. He is believed to have been murdered by his mistress and is reported to haunt throughout the hotel. His apparition has been seen on many occasions, and he is supposedly most attached to room 210. Like I mentioned to you guys, that is the room that the worker put me in. Second floor, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of tricky, so when you get out of the elevator, you're gonna make a left, and you'll see your room right away.
Okay, it's 210?
210, yes.
Okay. So I had asked the lady if the hotel was really haunted, and she started telling me stories about what guests had told her. Is it really true that it's haunted here? Do you get that a lot?
We've heard stories, to be honest, and then some people like to stay in that haunted room. Some people heard like girls crying, some people heard like people running, and things have been moved around.
Just a bunch of really creepy things that I really wish I didn't ask before going into all of this. I was just trying to get content for the video. So she had booked me into the room, and mind you guys, this night in particular, the lights went out, which was so eerie because none of the other lights in like the town or like businesses next door were out, which they had a backup generator, but some things weren't working, like the card reader wasn't working. Some of the halls in the hotel were just like completely dark. There I was walking down a really pitch dark hallway, and a lot of you guys pointed out that while I was filming in that hallway, like right before I got into the elevator, you guys saw like little orbs on the screen, which those are known to be tied to spirits. If you guys are familiar with paranormal activity. Oh my god, you guys. This is freaking creepy. There's literally no light. Oh my god. The lights just turned on. I think they're motion censored. I get into the elevator and then I get to the floor where I'm staying, and right away I get this like really heavy, uncomfortable feeling. Whatever is there it just, I don't know, I just didn't have a good feeling about it. I didn't feel like it was something of good. I feel like I'm really in tune with like people's vibes and like the energy that they give off. Right away I can just tell if someone is a good person or if they have like good intentions, or if I just get like bad vibes from somebody. I can just like feel that right away. I'm not sure what your guys' beliefs are, but I personally believe in God and I believe that there is good and evil. Right away I was completely freaked out, and as I got to my room I couldn't get myself to open the door. Literally so scared. I don't want to go in the room. I really don't want to go in the room. Maybe if I call Brian, because I just have a really bad feeling. I don't know. Hey. I am like scared right now. No, I'm not in the room because this hotel is creepy AF. I am on the same floor around the corner from the haunted room. It's really eerie and I keep hearing things. But I don't see anybody. I don't know if I can do this. What I ended up doing was calling for maintenance. Hi, I'm in room 210 and I just wanted to know if someone can come up and help me turn the light on in the room. Like do you have maintenance that can come up? No, I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared. That's why it's like I don't want to go in a dark room. Like I want the light to already be on. So I'm kind of like, once the light's on, like I'll be good. Okay, thank you. I know this probably sounds really funny, but I also had him like check under the bed, in the closets, in the bathroom. I just wanted to know that nothing was in there. He made me feel really comfortable. I don't know if he was lying to me and just trying to make me feel better, because he had told me that him working there, he had never experienced anything. So after the maintenance guy left, that uncomfortable feeling that I first got when I got into the hotel, it just got even stronger as I'm in the room by myself. You guys know when you just have like a very bad feeling? That's how I feel in this room. Like, not even kidding you guys, like I feel like negative, like uneasiness, and I don't like it. Being in that room by myself, I felt like I constantly had to watch my back. I don't know if I should sit on the bed. Like I feel like I have to like watch my back. Yeah. I had something really creepy happen. Hangers in the closet were starting to move by itself. But I mean, for the most part, it looks kind of good. Can you guys see that? It's like moving. So what I ended up doing was just leaving the hotel room and just kind of like walking the hallways and filming. So I think I was the only person on that floor that night. I kept constantly hearing people walking down the hall and I literally didn't see anybody. And when I checked in, I noticed that there weren't any cars in the parking lot. Like there were a couple. I just figured that those were the workers' cars. I kept hearing knocking noises. I kept hearing doors open, people walking down the hall. I never seen a single person that night. I'm like seriously so scared. So she said it was room 221 right there. Oh my god, I just like, that is creepy. I have like a weird feeling. There's another hallway. This is really cool. Oh my god, I heard something. The hell is that noise? No thanks. I'm going back. I don't know if you can hear me breathing in heavier. But I keep hearing noises. You guys, I'm legit scared right now. This looks creepy. Guys, I'm scared. And I'm by myself. The whole night I was walking down the hall and filming, I genuinely felt like something was following me the whole time. Something was just there with me. Not only did I feel it, but I captured it all on my camera. So I had captured so much more things on my camera, which I couldn't physically hear with my own ears in that moment. When I went back on the footage later, I literally couldn't believe what I had captured. So the video that's on my channel right now was a part 1 to some of the things that I experienced that night. I had asked you guys if you wanted to see a part 2 because there was just so much footage from that night to fit all in one video. And I'm curious too if you guys could let me know down in the comments if you guys had seen part 2, because I know a lot of you have been following me for a while. There were a lot more really, I don't want to say graphic, but it was just a lot more scarier than part 1, and so scary that I didn't even feel comfortable leaving it on my channel. I just wanted to get rid of all that footage together. Like, I let people watch it because you guys said that you wanted to see a part 2. So I had left it on my channel for probably a week. So later on, going through that footage, I had no idea that the whole time I was there, whatever was following me was actually talking to me. And like I said, I couldn't hear it with my own ears in that moment. I felt like whatever it was trying to communicate with me through my camera. I felt like something cold just passed me in that moment. And as soon as I said that in the video, you can hear someone breathing into the microphone of my camera. It's like really cold right here, right here, right here. Which till this day just gives me chills. So that night I ended up going down to the basement to try to get more footage. It just felt like that was just my breaking point because the presence of whatever I was feeling that night was just the strongest down there. In part 2 that I ended up deleting, I even captured myself like running down the hall because in that moment I didn't think to turn off the camera while I run. I just put the camera down and ran, which everything that I was feeling was real, and it wasn't just because I was scared. Please comment down below if you guys seen part 2 and know exactly what I'm talking about. I had filmed like these old phone booths. You can just tell by looking at them that that was like a part of history. That was my reaction to them, was just saying whoa. So after I had said whoa, I had captured whatever it was following me saying whoa right after, and it was in a very deep tone where you can tell it was a man. Till this day, like, I still can't believe that I actually captured a spirit's voice. Like, I had no idea that they could actually do that. There was no one in the hotel that night that I saw, and there was like no music playing. It was nothing. It was just pitch quiet. And in that moment, I didn't hear that voice at all until I had went home and heard it for myself. It's just so creepy and crazy that I even captured that, and that this person or this thing was talking to me. I think, in my opinion, I feel like it was the sea captain that the article was talking about and that I had read to you guys. So after that really overwhelming feeling that I had felt down in the basement, it was just a deal breaker for me, and I immediately ran out of the hotel, and I didn't even care about like getting a refund or anything. I just wanted to get out of there. I'm not even joking you, I literally ran out the front door. As soon as I got into the car, I immediately called Babe, and I was crying. I was just so scared and traumatized. So I ended up driving home, and this is where it gets even scarier. As I'm driving home, mind you, it's around 3 in the morning, so the roads are completely empty. The car is really dark. So the car that I have now wasn't the car that I was driving. I actually had a Jeep before this, so I turned on all the lights in my Jeep when I was driving home. I felt like whatever was in the hotel that night, following me the whole time as I was there, had followed me home. That overwhelming feeling that I had never went away as soon as I left. I had to pull over so many times as I was driving just to like check my back seat because it was just so strong. I just felt like it was with me. I don't know if it was attached to the camera or if it was attached to me. I just felt like I had exposed myself to something that I really shouldn't have. Looking for something and like talking about it, that it kind of stuck with me, if that makes sense. It took me a long time to get home than it normally would. So as soon as I got home, I immediately ran into Babe's arms and I had him hold me that whole entire night. Like, I did not want him to let me go. And even though Babe was holding me that entire night, I still felt that really heavy presence. I could not get myself to fall asleep. Like, I got 0 sleep that night. And that continued on for months. Like, at night, I just couldn't fall asleep. I was so paranoid to close my eyes. I hated being at home alone without Babe when he would have to go to work. So I want to also share with you guys that not even a day later, my camera ends up breaking. The camera that I captured all of this activity on just broke. So at our old house, I always charged my camera on the kitchen counter, and that night water ended up getting into the camera. Like, it like traveled all the way across the counter somehow. When I turned the camera on, it was just completely destroyed. And I didn't take that as being like a coincidence, because every single day for almost a year I would charge my camera on that counter and nothing ever happened to it. And how is it that I have all of this footage on my camera and then my camera ends up breaking? So the camera that I'm filming on now is the camera that I ended up buying after the first one broke. And mind you, I still till this day have that camera. I don't know if it was because I knew it was a $600 camera that I just didn't want to like throw it away, or I thought it was some sort of like Jumanji thing where if I threw it away and someone found it, that they would be experiencing the same thing as me, or if it was like some sort of like Ouija board and I just lit it on fire or something, that it still wouldn't get rid of the problem. I was just thinking of a lot of things. Let me know what you guys think that I should do, because till this day I still have the camera at home right now in the kitchen drawer. I know, that's really creepy. That's probably why everything keeps happening. So shortly after all this happens, we end up moving. Our current home right now, I have felt the same thing that I had been feeling at our old house, where I felt like I brought something back with me. I know this is really scary and sad, but I'm noticing that the kids are starting to experience things, not just me. And kids are so innocent, and I feel like kids are more like in tune with things like that. Like, they have such innocent minds, they can like pick up on stuff like that. So I'm not going to tell you which of my kids were experience things, but I'll just tell you what they have told me. The weird part about all of this too is that nothing ever happens when Babe's home. Something always happens when Babe's away at work. That's why everything is just so off and on, because when he's home it's completely quiet. I don't experience anything, so then I just forget about it because Babe is home a lot, but then as soon as he goes away, it just reminds me that there could be something. For me personally, I have never seen like an apparition, or I've never seen like a male or anything inside my house, but there has been countless times where that overwhelming feeling that I felt at the hotel, I would feel that at night. Like, as soon as I get into bed, I feel like something is just there with me and I just can't get myself to close my eyes. And also the kids, my hands are like sweating because I'm talking about this. I came to a park to talk about this because I didn't want to be inside my home talking about this. I didn't want to be anywhere near my home. This is how strongly I feel about it. Like, I don't want them hearing me or letting them know that I could be AFRAID. So I'll just hear like things moving around in the middle of the night, or if I'm trying to find something that I know I put on the counter and I go to find it like a million times, walk away and that thing that I was trying to find was just sitting on the counter the whole time. Just super weird things like that. Mind you, I have never spoke to my kids about this. My kids don't know what I experienced at the hotel that night. My kids have no idea what happened, or they have never seen the video. So lately, one of my kids have been coming to my room in the middle of the night, just so scared, and telling me that they saw someone in their room. And you can imagine how I'm feeling, because this happens every single time Babe's away at work. I just try to like be brave for them, because of course I don't want them to see that I am scared out of my mind. I just let them come and sleep with me until the morning. So this happening was only one of my kids. It was happening to for months now. And not only that, but they have expressed to me that they felt like someone was like putting their weight on them. Oh my gosh. Okay, I did not expect to get emotional, but it's kind of hard not to when creepy things are happening to my kids now. And yeah, sorry. I feel like this is my fault because I put myself in a situation where a place could potentially be haunted and I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I like take a lot of blame for this. Like I said, this thing was happening to just one of the kids. So my first child that I was talking about, things started to settle down and they weren't so scared at night anymore. Recently, something started to happen to another one of my children. So the last couple of nights, my child has been coming into my room just completely bawling and so scared. And what they told me was that they saw a person in their room. As soon as I heard that, I just felt so cold. I didn't even know what to do. I just immediately like grabbed my child and put them in bed with me. It wasn't until the next morning where I started asking questions. So the following morning, I asked my child like what they had seen. How is it that my child told me that what they seen in their room was a guy? I just expressed to you guys that I feel like whatever this thing is a male. How is it that I'm thinking that this is a guy and my kids are even saying that there's something in their room that was a guy? And it happened to two of my kids. I told them both separately not to tell my other kids because I didn't want them to be scared. So both of them have no clue that the other one is experiencing the same thing that the other one is. I just try to reassure them that they're okay, they're safe, God's protecting us. Whatever it is not real. I want to have our home blessed. Need to get rid of that camera, but I don't know what to do with it. I just want to know what you guys would do with the actual camera and how you would go about like disposing of the camera. Let me know down in the comments your guys' opinion because I would really love to hear it. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I can't really end this video like super bubbly and happy like I normally would. It's not really a happy topic, but if you guys made it this far, I'm really happy that you guys heard me out. I love you guys so much and I'll see you in my next video.